Hi, welcome to Yoga with Audrey. I'm Audrey, and today is day 3 of our 7-day yoga journey, Begin. Today's practice is all about nourishment and nurturing. It'll be more yin-like, so we'll be holding poses for a few minutes at a time, just deeply releasing in the body and the mind. We're going to be using a couple blankets and a bolster. If you don't have a traditional yoga bolster, you could just fold a few blankets into this rectangular shape and that'll work great. I have a blanket spread out on my mat just to be extra cozy. I have some of my favorite comfy clothes on, so I'd invite you to get really comfortable as well. Set your space up and let's get started. To begin, make your way into a supported seat. So bringing a folded blanket or a bolster underneath the sit bones, maybe even bringing another blanket over the lap. And bring the hands down to the knees. Pull the shoulders back. Let the eyes soften or close. And as you breathe, notice if you can lengthen your exhale by a count. So breathing slowly, remaining calm. If at any point lengthening the exhale feels stressful, just go back to your usual breath. But so long as it is still peaceful and calming, slowing the exhales down. Often, a slower practice is challenging mentally because our mind wants us to keep thinking and doing and going, often referred to as the monkey mind, bouncing from one thought or thing to the next. And so I'd invite you here to just reassure yourself, to say in your mind, to your mind, it's okay to rest. Inviting yourself to slow down and be nurturing to yourself. Slowly start to flutter the eyes open. We'll set up for our first pose, Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. So I have the short edge of my mat against the wall to support the rest of my torso in this shape, so you might want to do that. And again, that blanket on the mat so it's extra cozy. You're just going to move your bolster and your blanket to the side of your mat so they're right within reach. And then you're going to scooch yourself kind of to the side of your yoga mat so that one side of your body is flush against the wall. And then using the hands for support, you'll just slowly start to turn the backs of the legs up against the wall. Just like that. Okay, and then you're going to bring the bottoms of the feet to the floor. Grab that bolster. Press the feet into the wall, lift the hips, and slide that bolster underneath the back of the sacrum. And then you might have to scoot yourself back up against the wall. Good. And then if you have another blanket, place that on the bottoms of the feet so that it hangs behind the legs and pads the backs of the heels against the wall. Once you're comfortable, just readjust if you need to. If the bolster underneath the back of the pelvis isn't working, you can totally ditch the bolster. But as you're comfy, shimmy the shoulder blades together slightly, bring the arms out, palms face up. Let the eyes soften or close. Anchor back to your breath. Just start to notice a softening through the whole body. a feeling of rest, ease. At some point, your mind probably will wander. That's okay. Just notice when that happens and draw your awareness back to your breath. We'll be here for a few more minutes, just practicing stillness and allowing for deep release in the physical body. Your feet might start to get a little tingly. If at any point you need to bend the knees because of that or because of the hamstrings, you can totally bend the knees and bring the bottoms of the feet to the floor and the knees in towards the chest. But otherwise, so long as it's okay for you, keep the legs extended. And if it helps the mind to focus, you might bring all of your awareness back to the breath. Return to the sensation of lengthening your exhales. You might think of this pose as a gift that you're giving to your feet that we spend so much time standing on. Just letting that part of our body rest. If you haven't already, bring awareness back to your breath. Take 5 more inhales and 5 more exhales. And slowly start to bend the knees. If you have a blanket on top of the feet, Reach up with the arms, move that to the left side of the body. Press the bottoms of the feet into the wall. Lift the hips just enough to slide that bolster or whatever you're using under the hips out. Return the hips back to the earth. Bring the feet out wide, toes pointing up and away at 45 degrees, like Malasana or yogi squat, but with the bottoms of the feet on the wall. You could just let the hands rest on the belly. Just take a moment here. We won't be here long, just between poses. We're just going to do one more long held pose, longer held pose on each side, a spinal twist. So you're going to draw the knees in towards the chest, scoot the hips to the right. We're coming into twisted roots, a yin spinal twist. You're going to cross the right leg over the left, and you might need to scoot away from the wall a little bit to give yourself space. Bring the right leg over the left. With an exhale, slowly lower the legs to the left, either resting them on top of that blanket or on top of your bolster. So I'm going to scoot away from the wall a little. I'm feeling tighter today, so I'm going to bring a bolster under my legs as I lower them to the left. You could bring the arms out wide, palms face up, or you could interlace the hands behind the back of the head, whichever feels better. You can keep the head neutral, just turned up towards the ceiling, or you could turn the head over the right shoulder if that feels okay in the neck. And again, allowing the eyes to soften or close. Just focusing on the flow of your breath. The release of the body. As you continue to rest in this pose, just notice if you're holding on anywhere. Maybe you're curling the fingers into the hands. Could you open the hands, soften the fingers towards the earth? Could you release even the tongue into the bottom of the mouth? Just scanning the body for places where you can soften. We'll be in this shape for for one more minute together, unless, of course, your body's asking you to come out. Always honor your body. You know what you need, and it might look different. In fact, it usually does look different from what someone else needs. Bring awareness to your breath. Feel how the breath moves the body. And take a few more inhales and a few more exhales. Being mindful to go slower than you want to or are used to. Draw the navel to the spine. Use the core for support as you slowly bring the knees back to center. If you're still close to the wall, maybe the bottoms of the feet come back to the wall. Just take a moment to be still at center. If you're using a prop to support the legs, you can move that from the left side of the mat to the right side of the mat. We'll set up for twisted roots on the other side. So scooting the hips to the left a little, cross the left leg over the right, arms out wide, palms face up, or hands interlaced behind the back of the head. And then as you're ready, lower the legs to the right. You can keep the head at neutral or turn the head over the left shoulder if that feels okay in your neck. Soften the belly, soften the eyes. Feel yourself letting go into the shape on this side. Yin yoga and the softer, slower styles of yoga, such as restorative as well, are very meditative practices in that there's so much silence and stillness. It's an opportunity to just practice where the mind, or to notice where the mind goes in those moments, and to practice pulling the mind and the awareness back to where you are, to what you're doing. The practice of just being without having to be taking any overt action. to allow yourself to just exist in peace. You have just about another minute on this side. So long as the body is still okay being here, do your best to remain still and in rest. Awareness returns to the flow of your breath. Enjoying a few more inhales and exhales on this side. And again, drawing the navel to the spine, engaging the abdominals to support the rest of your body as you slowly draw the legs back to center, unwind. Maybe the bottoms of the feet come back to the floor or the earth, just letting yourself be still. It might feel good to draw the knees into the chest. Maybe you rock from side to side. We just spend 20 minutes-ish together in this 7-day yoga journey. But if you have a few more minutes, I'd invite you to just inch yourself away from the wall, make your way into Shavasana, legs out wide and long, palms face up. And just give yourself a few more minutes of this practice to soak it all in, to rest. It's wonderful to practice with you this 3rd day of our 7-day journey. I hope you enjoy the peace and calm of this practice. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow for day 4. Thank you.